All right, we're live. So what's going on, everybody? Probably one of the biggest events in Guns N' Roses over the last year or so. I think everybody was up. I was getting tons of messages like, hey, are you watching Rock in Rio? So I thought today we could talk about the Rio show. I watched it live. The streams I was watching it on, there was a couple. One was, what's Periscope? So I was watching Periscope was decent. It kept like stuttering. I kept having a bunch of sync problems. Like the audio wasn't syncing with the actual video. And then I watched it on Twitch, which seemed to be a bit better.
I had the VPN.
You had the VPN. Was the quality really good?
Yeah, the video quality was great. I mean, I kept like jacking up my earbuds because I wanted to jam out, but you know, it didn't. The audio wasn't. The output was not as loud as I wanted, but the video was great. No problems whatsoever. I thought it was great.
Yeah, the video sounded pretty good. It's great we finally got like a full pro shot concert for this tour.
Well, I think that's why everybody was waiting for it. Like I only watched up to Heaven's Door, so just almost before the encore. I think they played Night Train afterwards, and you know, it was not one of his best performances. Like Como sounded pretty bad towards the end. Like he just sounded tired, man. I think I've been touring way too long, and You Could Be Mine was definitely not a highlight of the night at all.
This is the proof that I hope he doesn't go back to Axel DC next year. You know, he takes the whole year off. You know, I think, you know, we've had arguments that, you know, when he starts the tour back up again, you know, he's like, you know, he's rusty, but I think it's beyond that. I think he's been touring nonstop the last 2 years, and where the previous 2 years he hadn't toured. So I think Axel, he needs a break.
I think the show overall was great.
Jeff.
I mean, the show was great. Axel seemed a little rusty. Can't put him down. 55 years old, still rocking. I think at the end of the day, maybe a little more vocal coaching. But, I mean, I can't complain about the show. It was free and it was awesome.
Yeah, and you know, it's the first and probably only pro shop show we're going to get from this entire tour unless they release like a special DVD or something.
Right. I mean, you think that they will broadcast in either of the other two forthcoming shows over there?
No, I think only if are they playing any more? Well, maybe that festival they're playing in Sao Paulo. I don't know if they broadcast that one, but who knows? There's a possibility. But I think I think people should just assume that we're going to get only this Rock in Rio show. And even
broke up there.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say that even with that being said, like you can't even watch the full show on YouTube because when I tried to upload some of the videos, it said blocked worldwide. So some songs were blocked worldwide, like Used to Love Her, Wichita Lineman. It wouldn't let me post it. But other songs were only blocked in Brazil, which I don't understand how that works.
I started watching a YouTube upload of the show from last night, and it says Rock in Rio 2017, and then it says in parentheses, trying again. So this guy got the whole video up, and then now it's gone. It's kind of weird. I mean, I don't think it's the band going after him. I think it's the guy who promoted the show is going after him.
Yeah, when I get the copyright claims, it's never Guns N' Roses. It's like the company or maybe the promoter who's put the claim in, and it's stupid. Like Bon Jovi's full concert is available on YouTube. So is Aerosmith, from what I saw.
Alter Bridge.
Yeah, why can't Guns N' Roses concert be on there?
Yeah.
Probably because the promoter put his house, his balls, and his life up on the line in order to get Guns on that bill and pay for it. So I'm sure he wants to milk every dollar he can out of it to get, you know, his money back and what have you.
So yeah, the claimant is Horizonte Conti. I don't speak Spanish, man.
Yeah. Horizonte Condios.
Yeah.
Contuos has blocked it on copyright grounds. So, I mean, give it a week. It'll be up.
Yeah, but speaking of the pre-show panel, they did. I was watching a little. Jeff sent me the link to the Periscope, and they came out with the. God, I'm losing my train of thought. They had like the pre-show panel had a poll of like the three songs that like the Rock in Rio audience wanted to see, and the three songs were Dead Horse, So Fine, and November Rain, and the fans voted the most for Dead Horse. So.
And you know, I thought the show was okay. Like his voice, like somebody sent me a clip of Cincinnati from 2016, the show I think you went to, Jeff.
Yeah.
And Jungle, and holy crap, it's like night and day. Like they were both, you know, you normally see the show, the cell phone shot footage, it sucks. But this was really good. Like his voice on Jungle sounded so good. I don't know whether he's just tired, which he probably is, and also maybe he just doesn't give a shit anymore. He's like, oh, I'm raking in money. I'm saving my voice for AC/DC, so I'm not gonna.
I would hope he's not thinking that way, because let's be real, like there's only one living member of the original ACD lineup in that band. He isn't an official member yet, quote unquote. I think that if he's really saving his stuff for Axel DC, that's such a shame and blasphemy. But I think at the end of the day, like, I mean, I think last night I think he did kind of vocally phone it in. Some of the stuff seems a little
we were talking,
relaxed.
Like, I think the low point for me was the end of Coma. He just seemed tired. Like, it was just like, and I don't blame him. Coma's a really hard song to sing live. I kind of wonder why they keep it in the set list, because, I mean, they never performed it that much.
Easier, so.
His voice would have sounded better back then. And he just sounded exhausted. It's so hard to sing that song.
I'm surprised.
Which didn't sound very good. Wichita Lineman sounded really good. Used to Lover sounded good. Yesterday's is even hard to listen to as well. It's just way too clean.
Yeah, there were, I mean.
Sorry, Bailey, go ahead.
Just, you know, there's certain songs that you could play. But you know what? I'm not. Sorry.
Did we lose Bailey here?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, this, you know, just, I wasn't super disappointed at the show.
I can hear you.
Because, okay. I wasn't super disappointed at the show because I knew this was going to happen. You know, I'm not as disappointed as I was for the Apollo show.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people, I've heard people say this in the reviews that Slash saved the show last night, but even some people said Slash looked bored. I kind of wonder if those guys are bored of playing the same songs, because even when Slash.
Yeah.
And they're playing the same thing every.
You broke up.
Yeah.
Okay, Rio 2001, 2000. They've always premiered songs that they haven't played before, or they haven't played in a long time. And I was like hoping, okay, they're going to do something special for Brazil. And it was just another concert. And it's just disappointing because, like, you know, Brazil's got this huge history with dance.
Sid?
You broke up.
Yeah, it's lagging a lot.
I think while he's trying to fix that, I know where he's coming from. He was essentially saying that Rock in Rio is kind of a birthplace for them to release and re-release new material, and they didn't. I think it was kind of also blasphemy that actually even not only noted it, but played it was The Seeker.
They didn't even have The Who come out. Like,
yeah, it was kind of weird. So did The Who play The Seeker last night?
No, I checked their set list. They didn't.
They played Substitute. They substituted The Seeker with Substitute.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So somebody did. I didn't see The Who's concert, but did somebody was saying that The Who sort of like gave praise to Axl Rose or something?
Yeah, he gave Axl and the rest of the band a shout out.
On
that
stage.
was nice because Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
Roger Daltrey said some crap about Axl in the past before, so I wondered if it was they were going to, you know, heal that bridge. But it was also weird, like they could have played The Seeker with the time.
With The Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you look at all the, you know, the artists that were, you know, playing at this festival. I mean, you had Alter Bridge, there's Miles, you had Aerosmith, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, you had The Who, you had I mean, you had all these like artists that have some connections to either the set list and or the band, and none of them showed up. I mean, you could have had Joe Perry and Steven Tyler come out and play Mama Kin. Alice Cooper's there. Let's play The Garden. You could have had.
Hopefully, he'll play with Alice Cooper, The Garden, in this next show that they're doing between this weekend and last weekend or next weekend. So, cross your fingers for that. I'm not giving up hope. I really think it's possible.
They're not doing it. The only I think it feels it. Like I'm just like they're playing the arenas in October and November, and I could literally record.
Sid?
Break it up big.
Guarantee it would be the same.
You're breaking up big time, buddy. Sorry, what did you say?
So what I was gonna say is I'm not even excited about the arena, but I feel like it's gonna be the same show that I went and saw in August and the live stream.
I think that I am still crossing my fingers for the arena shows, that the set list will change, some things will change, and I'm trying to remain open-minded before I just completely implode on the same old. Did anybody else realize that Axel finally got his way last night and got to go on after 1 a.m.?
I realized that. I think that was.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, I was saying, was Guns late getting on the stage yesterday?
No, but I mean,
they went on late.
Their time versus our time versus world time, like local time. They went on time, but their local time when they went on was at 1 a.m. So for the first time in this Not in Your Lifetime tour, Axel got his way and got to go on at 1 a.m.
Well, you remember when they played Rio in 2001? He went on to like 1:30 in the morning, or was it like?
Yeah, the show didn't wrap until well into almost 4 a.m.
Yeah, I mean it was a late show. I mean, if this was 2001, like 1993 to 2014, Axel he got his way last night.
Yeah, and I also enjoyed not having any Melissa or Dizzy close-ups. Did you guys realize there wasn't any of that? On the video.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Jeff?
There wasn't in the video, the audio. You could hear them, but on the video part of the live stream last night, there was no Melissa or Dizzy up close shots. Did anybody else notice that?
I didn't notice that.
And then I think a couple.
Oh, there wasn't. I never noticed that at all.
Yeah, like there's Izzy and Melissa, Dizzy, sorry, and Melissa never got a close-up shot on the video camera. It was weird. They were only like on the projectors behind. So Axel, Slash, and Duff got most of the TV time. I'm trying to see if I took any other notes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been for the most part. Anytime they focus, on Axel, Slash, and Duff. But, it seemed whatever. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the show. It's just, your typical gun show, overall, I'd probably say this vocally for Axel was a better show than 2011. But, in some way, 2011 has at least a surprise over this show because they brought a Strange back.
Right. I think, give them these next two shows, try to stay open-minded, and hopefully they'll do something to surprise us. But if not. But you also have to understand that if you get these people up on stage with you, 50% of the time they're going to want money to do it. So does Axel want to come out of his own pocket to pay Joe Perry and Steven Tyler or Alice Cooper to join them for a song they don't have a huge part in their set rotation? It's kind of hard. I mean, I think that if Axel was smart and wanted to keep the crowd happy, he'd do it, to appease the fans, because we're getting a little antsy over here, hearing and seeing the same stuff every night, day in and day out. But it's Axel's band. He rules it with an iron fist, and he's going to decide. So I mean, it stinks, he's never going to, do it for the kids. I don't think Axel ever is going to adjust to that adaptation of business sense in order to keep his fans happy. He's going to do what he wants, when he wants, and how he wants it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think last night kind of showed me how much I think, like we talked about it on previous podcasts, if Izzy was back, the set list would just be a lot more different. And, let's say, they're playing, 32 songs a night. And if Izzy, was in the band and he played Dust and Bones for 14 years, that's another, break for Axel. So, you know.
Well, I also feel like they should reduce the number of songs in the set list and give Axl Place a break. Like, I'd be happy if they played 25 songs or even 22 songs like they did back in the Illusions tour. Like,
well,
I'd be happy if they did it like, Metallica. They played half as much, spent half as much time on stage, and charged half as much. I mean, at least that night, Axl gets half of his voice, screamed out, and then the other half, he can rest. I mean, maybe even after the arena tour, they might cut that back, even more, play clubs, do whatever. But I think that, they're going out and playing twice as long as Metallica is. They're going out and charging twice as more Metallica is for a ticket. Like, just cut it in half and save your voice, Axl,
Yeah. His voice was all over the place last night. Like, I remember I heard Better, and he used it seemed like he went from having a clean voice to using what I think the forum call his voice is his demonic voice, and using a lower register rasp. I mean, it was just weird.
Yeah, even just singing a lower register.
Coma sound all over the place.
Oh my God, Coma was horrendous. You Could Be Mine was, I couldn't even listen to You Could Be Mine. And but I mean, I stopped after Heaven's Door because I feel like that song just dragged out way too long. And I was tired. It was getting late where I was. So I'm like, you know what? I watched the first 20 songs. I think I've got the gist of it. And you know what? The only thing that they did maybe was a bit different.
Did what?
That they did different was that they played the James Brown cover, and they did
not play James Brown last night.
It was in the setlist.fm.
No,
they didn't.
Oh, they didn't play.
No.
That stupid setlist FM thing is people always throw in the wrong songs.
Yeah, I've actually spoken to a moderator and somebody high up at a setlist FM. They're actually going to revamp their outline about how they allow people to update their set lists. They're going to put in a tone poll theory, say, okay, so if Sid signed up today for set list, and I signed up 2 years ago, my set ed is going to override theirs. And they're going to add spam filters where you can click on and get somebody's account spammed out if they're adding bullshit. Setlist FM is in the process of redoing their entire site behind the scenes. So I'm pretty proud about that. I've talked to somebody pretty high up, and they're going to add a totem pole theory. If you were there, your edit's going to override anybody else's if you were at the show. If you have more experience on the site, it's going to override somebody else's edit. So I'm looking forward to the changes that they're going to put together for that website, because it's kind of becoming Wikipedia where anybody can go in and put anything about anything, so.
Yeah, we got one person in the chat, Daniela. She was in the front row of Rock in Rio last night. She said Axl sounded great. I see it's that Alice in Chains thing, I call it, where they sound terrible on the streams and YouTube videos, but when I went and saw him, he sounded really good.
Right.
So
I don't know, but this is the thing I thought about. I noticed last night that my least favorite part, other than the covers and the set list, is these long, drawn-out solos. Did you hear the intro to Jungle? It was before Axl did the "You Know Where You Are" part. He Slash was playing a long ass intro.
Well, they have a long teaser to Jungle. Even when we went and saw them, it was it's a minute and 30 seconds before they start Jungle.
Well, I read on the forum, it felt like people were saying it's holy shit, this intro before the beginning of the song sounds like Ashba's intro from a couple years ago for Jungle. Remember when he played Jungle and the intro would be 2 minutes long before Axl said a word?
Well, it's even the same with what song is it? Sweet Child of Mine I was watching, and the outro for that song is so long. Slash is shredding on the guitar, and then it's over when he runs to Frank's riser and then jumps off it.
Right. Did you see him last night get to the top of Frank's riser, look down, and then do a double take and hesitate before he jumped?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's getting old, buddy. He's watching where he's about to jump. Back in the day when he's all coked out, he'd just jump and do a flip.
I can't believe Slash is like jumping at his age, man. Like, you know, he's got a good thing going. You don't want to break his leg and be playing guitar in the throne that Axel was in.
I agree. Like I think, like I said, when he jumped last night, he looked, and it was like a 6-year-old child looking over to like jump into the pool. He was like,
but somebody has a good point. They said that some of the long, drawn-out intros and outros give Axel a chance to rest his voice and do the wardrobe change.
Yep, and then go suck on some oxygen so he can come out and give 120% again.
Yeah. So Danielle also said people on the back, far from the stage, told that his voice wasn't nice, but for the ones close to the stage, it was nice. I don't know if the stream captured the high quality. I also heard too, like the venue is enormous, and that, you know, the sound sometimes isn't the way.
I think they were drawing the sound straight off the soundboard last night. I mean, just to mix it into the live feed.
That's what I figured too.
I don't think it was like they had to have, like, in order for them to, like, everybody to fulfill their contract, they had to run that sound off the soundboard. So that was Axel's voice, like A to Z, straight through, no edit.
And, you know, I posted a video on my channel of, it was, what song? I can't remember what song it was before, but it was early in the set, and Axel complained about some technical problems with the sound.
I think it was better, maybe.
Maybe.
Slash had a couple problems last night.
Didn't he break a string during coma or something?
He popped a string during coma. That was the second time this tour he's popped a string, I think, during coma. And the last time I can remember was Chicago '93. That's
92.
92, you mean?
That bootleg's out. What else? During I want to say, gosh, what was it? Where Axel. The reason why Slash had technical difficulties at the end of, I want to say at the end of Jungle or Double Talk and Jive, before Axel addressed the crowd. During his solo, I think it was Double Talk and Jive, because at the end of his solo, he had his ear monitors out and he was at his main amp, like just listening to his main amp. So Slash had some troubles too.
So in the chat, Aaron says it was Double Talk and Jive where Slash's guitar was malfunctioning. I'm gonna have to go listen to that, because I sort of tuned in and out. So I watched the beginning of Double Talk and Jive, but I didn't watch like the outro, and there may have been a song I missed here or there. But
yeah, I mean, he went old school. He went to his main amp, took out his earbuds, and it was like him in a garage again, because that was like his main amp he could only listen through.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was kind of raw and organic. I thought it was kind of cool, but you know, nobody likes technical difficulties. But I thought it was a little organic and raw, a little bit less not in this lifetime tourish, if you will.
Yeah, I was reading people on the forum, and even Richard's guitar for like the first half of the show, they couldn't, on the mix, they couldn't hear it. So I'm like, oh, did they turn off his amp like they allegedly used to do with Izzy?
Yeah, those Izzy stories are hilarious, and those Izzy stories are true. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, he played like a pro through it, man. He popped the string. I mean, during coma, how can you pop a string and still stay? You know, it's the 5-fret theory with guitars. But I mean, for you to be a pro and just not even bat an eyelash and just go through it before the first "Where Are You?" Like yeah, in a Duff's bass, and then he switched out guitars.
The other thing, King Disaster Garage says, did you see when he was stuck standing near the step? I don't know if he's talking about Slash, maybe.
Stuck where?
You say, did you see when he was stuck standing near the steps and having them change out the inners? I don't know if he's talking about Axel or Slash.
You mean his ear comms? I'm guessing. I don't know. No, I did not see that.
Yeah, he said Slash. So Slash changing. I didn't see that part either. But you know what's funny? Slash this is sort of getting into the news for the week, but Slash did a promo video for Ernie Ball Strings.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's so funny, during the promo, he's like, I've never broken a string using their strings before. And I'm like, you just broke a string last night, and then you broke one like in Europe, and then you broke one like, was it a year ago or something?
Yep. But I mean, for as hard as he shreds, three notable breaks. I mean,
Slash can improvise, though.
I've played with stringed instruments my entire life. There's no way that there is one indestructible string company out there. I mean, you shred, you rock, you're gonna pop a string. Period.
Yeah, I mean, string pops, but I'm wondering if, like, you know, remember during the Houston show, Axel, like the piano broke during November Rain?
Yeah, he got pissed off.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was like, dude, is that going to happen to Slash where like his guitar just stops working all of a sudden?
Well, there was also a show they did in '92 in Seville, Spain. Like, I think you can watch it on YouTube or the audio at least. And yeah, his guitar malfunctioned. He got pissed off and like walked
off stage.
Yeah, just to get the guitar. He probably talked to his guitar tech. He came back on stage.
Yeah, Slash doesn't seem like he's like that kind of guy. I mean, I read an interview or a review like way back in the day of like when Neil Young did MTV Unplugged, and he showed up and his whole band was like out of key and out of tune. So he just like smashed his guitar on stage and walked off for like 3 hours until the band got their shit together and almost refused not to do the show.
Oh, really?
Slash doesn't really like care. I mean, he's a little too flippant and like carefree for something like that to happen. He'd just be like, I got 30,000 other guitars. I'll go grab one of those. You know, figure out what the problem is. But I think that like as a pro, you kind of like anticipate stuff like that. So your guitar tech's pretty much on his toes 24/7.
Well, life in general is like that. Nothing goes according to plan, right?
No, Murphy's Law, man.
Yeah. So, do you guys have anything else to say about the Rock and Rio show before I move on to the next like news?
Can we please get Sorry out of the set lists?
Yeah, I was. You know what's funny? I was listening to Sorry last night, and I was hearing. To me, I was hearing like a backing track from like I don't know what part in Sorry, but I thought I heard a backing track. Like,
maybe.
Vocal,
maybe they have well, I was gonna say is Sebastian Bach sang on the song background vocals. Maybe they have like a backing track he sings along with.
It sounded like one of Axel's parts though.
Oh,
I don't know. If somebody can clarify that in the comments section, that'd be appreciated. But that's what I thought I heard.
Okay, I wish they would get rid of This I Love. I hate that song.
I hate it too.
I mean, it's great songs like November Rain and Estranged, and then This I Love just, I don't know, it's just overly sappy, and it just doesn't do it for me like the other
I just don't like the lyric on Sorry, but I don't want to do it. I mean, that is it's not even professional writing.
No.
Well, some of the lyrics in Sorry refer to like a fight that him and Axel had, even though Axel has said the song is not about Slash.
Right.
Like the parts that say shut.
Yeah.
Sid?
Yeah.
You broke up. Sorry, what'd you say?
You put out a press release after the Roses and said that Slash brought his snake.
Still breaking up, buddy.
Okay, I won't tell the story then. What I was going to say is, do you guys have any other thing to say about Rock and Rio before we move on to the news?
No.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I kind of do, and
Okay, sure.
I'm speculating here, and I might ruffle some feathers, but go back and rewatch Attitude, and right at the end, when Duff gets off the mic, he does not look sober.
Duff?
Yeah.
Well,
go watch it again, and right at the end, pause it, and his face. I mean, he might have just been taken away from something or what have you, but he just makes this face at the end of Attitude that just does not look sober whatsoever. And I'm speculating, and I'm just totally whatever. I'm sure Duff is as sober as he's been for the last few years since his pill popping since Velvet Revolver, but he just gave this look that just did not look that of sobriety.
Well, he could have been sick because a lot of people thought Axel was sick. Alter Bridges said a couple nights ago, Miles Kennedy during Alter Bridges set said he wasn't feeling good. So he could have just been like under the flu or something. I doubt I'm pretty sure. I don't. Just clarifying, I think he's still sober. He wasn't feeling good.
I do too. I think he's sober too. This look he gave just looked a little bit too familiar from the 80s and 90s that I was just like, uh-oh. But
I think he's probably just sick. Like, I mean, remember he said the doctor told him if he has one more drink, it could kill him.
Yeah.
Could have been. Could have been. Hopefully, he's not back on the Xanax or whatever.
Maybe it's on the medication he's taking if he's sick. But
he said he was sick during the right before the Apollo show.
Yeah, I did read that.
Yeah, I remember reading that. And then somebody said Michael Jackson's remastered video said, I think they have background pre-recorded vocals in Black Hole Sun. Listen carefully to the Apollo version. The change between the rasp and the low voice is too fast. In my opinion, it can be pre-recorded. See, I thought they did have background pre-recorded vocals for Black Hole Sun when they premiered it, but somebody said no, it's Duff's background vocals. So I don't know, but it could
there's a little guy on a computer somewhere, possibly behind the scenes, clicking a button. You never know. I would hope not that they would be 100% organic, but you can't get that. You can't get that with a live band, unless you're just like a 3-piece acoustic band these days. I mean, it's really difficult to get every sound that you need live from your album. I mean, a lot of bands are doing it, but
especially from like Chinese Democracy, which is so overproduced.
Yeah, it's a very complex and multi-layered album to the point where I would guess maybe a couple tracks are in there somewhere.
Yeah, I did hear somebody say that, and I agree. It's just a shame that Guns N' Roses didn't reunite in 2006.
Oh, that was a missed opportunity right there. I mean, Axl, that was the year he got his voice back. Velvet Revolver was, they were pretty big at that point. So they were all in the, in the news still at the time.
Isn't that right around the time Scott Weiland was blaming their manager, who also managed Guns at the time, for sabotaging Velvet Revolver in order to get Guns back together?
Yeah, Irving Azoff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think I hope they're not using backing tracks. I mean, a couple years ago I saw Motley Crue, and that was like one of the worst live shows.
Oh man, you guys have to go see. You have to go see Rock in Rio 2015. Motley Crue, Kickstart My Heart. I didn't know that he could talk in tongues. Their lead singer.
Yeah, he not only he sounds winded and just his cat screeching, but also you hear the chorus parts a backing track.
Are we allowed to talk positive about Motley Crue here? It's all negative.
I mean, right? I love Motley Crue, but it's just they're not a great live band. I mean,
I saw them twice. I saw them on the one a couple years ago when they said, that's it, we're done, the retirement tour. I thought it was a great show. I mean, they put on a pretty damn good, live act for their audience. And Tommy got out on that cage thing on the drums. I thought it was pretty cool. But
I mean, I love Tommy Lee. I think he's one of my favorite drummers. I think he's probably the best player in Motley Crue. Nicky has said that he's more of a writer than he is a bass player.
Well, I know Mick Mars is really, really sick. He is really
sick. He's got
sick.
a medical condition.
It's like a spine issue. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, he can't. He's not able to tour anymore. So that's partially the reasons. It was kind of funny though. Their farewell, absolute last show in LA or Vegas. I think they did it in Vegas on New Year's Eve last year. Tommy's drum rig got caught while he was hanging upside down.
Yeah, I think that was at the Staples Center actually.
Oops.
So it doesn't matter.
So I wanted to talk about, we got about 15 minutes. I'll talk about some of the other news that came out this week. So you remember, Jeff, last week you talked about the new documentary that's maybe coming out for Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
So there's another documentary that we know for sure is coming out. So it's not just Guns N' Roses. It's also going to be covering Jane's Addiction and Red Hot Chili Peppers and basically LA's music scene from 85 to 90.
Nice.
So
Cool.
The LA Weekly has an article about the fashion, the drug use. It's called Sinisters, Music, Mayhem, and Melrose Avenue, 85 to 90. It's going to be showing tonight at Beyond Bark as part of the Tequila Mockingbird screening series for the Punk Rock Museum. It must be in LA.
Nice.
So there's a bunch of interviews with the people who were there, playing in and going and throwing parties at clubs such as Scream, Raji's, and the Cat House. So it looks like an interesting film. It's also, I thought, supposed to be coming out. There's a pretty long write-up about it. There's a picture of Guns N' Roses. I think the writer of the actual film, he was a roadie for, what was that band that Izzy was in before Guns? London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he was also a roadie for Guns N' Roses as well.
Yeah. Wasn't Slash and Steven in London too? Like, there's a huge amount of musicians that were in London.
It might be. Yeah. So there's a whole write-up. I'm going to be doing a story about it tomorrow on my news weekly wrap-up thing. So you guys can find out more about that. We also got, I'm just trying to see. We talked about the Slash Ernie Ball trailer. We were also going to talk about Gilby Clark's doing a mini tour of Eastern Canada. There's an article about why Jumanji, the new movie, which honestly I have no interest in seeing, but why it's named Welcome to the Jungle. So apparently Jack Black would sing Welcome to the Jungle on the set, and then he suggested the title to the director or producer who loved the idea.
Well, I know Jack Black just has that band, what's it called? Tenacious D.
Tenacious D. Oh, I love Tenacious D.
So, but
Tenacious D's great. The movie, Dave Grohl plays a devil.
Yeah.
So,
I love Tenacious D.
Speaking of Dave Grohl, we also got him and Taylor Hawkins are promoting the new Foos album. So he talked Rose and AC/DC. He basically said that Axl did a great job fronting AC/DC. And Taylor Hawkins said last year was like the return of Axl Rose. So they were pretty kind to Axl, which is nice.
Yeah.
They've come a long way since the 92 VMAs.
Yeah. Like I said before, I think they're getting older and realizing that, like, the immature bullshit, it's just behind them. Just go out and make good tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was basically the news in a nutshell. There was some other minor news, but nothing too much. Slash is doing a new PSA for like elephants for an organization called One Act for All. So that's out now, and there's a bunch of other celebrities doing some PSAs for that too.
Yeah, Slash is really into like wildlife stuff.
He's always been into like zoology or what have you.
Well, he's always been like a snake guy, so.
He did an article where he said he became more of a family man. He donated all of his snakes to the local zoo.
Remember he used to have a ton of snakes, like when he was in Guns?
Yeah.
That he claimed he owned like, what, 100 to 200 snakes?
He also owned
that'd be cool as shit, man. I like have a fear of snakes, but you know, if I had millions, and I think I'd start collecting some kind of wild animal. Not wild, but you know. Maybe a big, huge fish tank.
Yeah.
Some sharks or something like that.
Sand sharks, yeah.
Just don't be like collecting freaking tigers or any shit like that.
No, I never got that idea. Like people who claim to, like, you know, these exotic animals, and then, you know, the exotic animals should go exotic animal on somebody for keeping them out of their habitat, like the Siegfried and Roy guys. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that's right. So the last thing I want to talk about with you guys is Vegas. So do we have any updates for Vegas?
The consensus now is, you know, we'll all fend for ourselves to get in and out of town, and then we'll spend that Friday and Saturday evening rocking out. And then I think I'll fly out Sunday, you may Monday, or Bailey gets his ride out. You know, I mean, Friday and Saturday we're, you know, the boys on the town, but you know, getting in and out of town, you have to be up to yourself. Yeah. And I've sent out all the ticket requests, and I'm just waiting in regards to a follow-up email.
Yeah, as soon as you know, the ticket information comes in, because I need to get the tickets. It'd be a little bit, for me at least, it'd be great to get the tickets first,
right?
And worry about everything else, because the other stuff's not hard to worry about. But didn't you when you sent that message, like there's no like 4 seats in a row that we could buy?
No, it's if we do a ticket request, there are blocks of 2 each. So I need you and Sid and me and Kevin to occupy all 4 seats, so the money doesn't get, you know, flushed down the toilet on a third. I mean, I'm sure I could find a third person or a fourth person to take the ticket. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't want to add another stressor before the show.
Yeah, I could, you know, I kind of like to, you know, if we get all the money organized, I could just PayPal someone money.
Yeah, we'll figure it out very soon. Trust me. I want to get this stuff nailed down before flights go get more expensive and what have you. So
my plan is to go if I am able to get out there is to go that Thursday because that show's on a Friday and get settled in. So
anybody out there in podcast land, if you guys want to join us in Vegas, add it to the comment section below when this is published, and we'll, private email you or what have you. We'll set something up. We want to get something together so all of us can sit around and hang out and have a beer or what have you just before the game or the show and get to know each other. So
yeah, that'll be awesome. I can't wait. So I guess it'll be a good time. I was good something I can't. Oh yeah, we also mentioned that there's like an In-N-Out burger near the T-Mobile Arena.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah,
okay.
I live in Arizona, which is on the West Coast, and In-N-Outs are, obviously very common, a lot more.
We don't get them.
Well,
we don't get them. So I want one. I want one bad. I'm going to go straight there, get an Ashpa water, and then I'm going to go get a burger.
You know what we should do? We should all meet up, go get an Ashpa water at the Stratosphere, and then go to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Maybe is DJ here? We'd like to interview him real quick.
Yeah, we should.
Hey, where'd you get the top hat idea, buddy?
Yeah.
Hey, what was your inspiration behind your guitar solo to, what was it called?
Ballad of Death.
Yeah.
And I would ask him, where did you get the idea to smoke and play guitar at the same time?
Yeah. Why do you get? That's so awesome. You use a Les Paul, man. Where'd you get that idea?
Well, I mean, Ashpa's making hand over fist cash more than I am, and he's wearing that heavy dark eyeliner, so I'm sure he's cooler than I am. I can't bash the guy.
Yeah.
Can't bash the guy. I mean, when you come up with a concept called bottled water, I mean, everybody should get the fuck out of your way.
Yeah. Ashpa, I can bash Pittman, but Ashpa's he's a legend in my book.
Yeah, exactly. So that basically does it. I got to run, guys, but it was fun talking about Rock in Rio. So hope you guys got a chance to see the pro shop footage. If not, I got the link to the videos anyways. I tried to download them off Mega Upload, but I think you guys need to get like a .rar extractor.
Yeah.
But there's a couple guys on YouTube who posted most of the concert like in parts, but then there's some songs missing because you can't put them up on YouTube. So
right, like I said, just give it a week. Give it a week. Let the promoter count his dollars and cents, and then he'll stop giving a shit once he realizes he made money off the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think once I find a good link to the full show, which is easy to just click and watch, I'll let you guys know. So, or if you guys find it, let me know in the comment section below. So, So that does it, guys. Thanks for coming out. If you guys want to meet up in Las Vegas, wait until this video gets published and put it in the comment section, and we'll set something up.
Speaking of setting stuff up, you guys are going to get ready for next week's podcast, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a great one.
Did you hear back from him or her, Jeff?
I think he or her is quite busy. I'm going to wait until maybe Monday or Tuesday just to double check and solidify everything, but as you've seen from the emails, they're in, so,
So basically, if you guys are have been watching our channel, or maybe you haven't, there's supposed to be a big guest coming on the podcast next week. So that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to set expectations. Every time Guns N' Roses tease something, remember we thought we were going to get new music and we got just an arena tour?
Yeah. Or
and I also at the same time don't want to announce it in case there's a hiccup, and if there's a hiccup, I don't want them looking bad, so... Yeah. I'm not going to make any promises until, day of, time of, and, going live. But as long as I understand everything's going on as planned, and you guys should be in for a really good treat. So,
yeah.
You guys should be in for a really, really good treat.
Yeah.
That's basically all we're going to say.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right. Peace, guys.
Rock on guns. We'll see you guys next week.